Hey, Powerless Balc here. Been a powerless man here in Elmore, Minnesota, thanks to Alliant Energy not supplying meter poles and wanting their clients to spend $747 on a meter pole or disconnect. Anyhow, I'm getting along just fine, and I think I'll just continue on my life as a powerless man. Um, I kind of like toy tractors. My dad was a Minneapolis Moline dealer, and I tied my pole to my Minneapolis Moline 335 out there in the Balcom auction lot out there on my ground, and it seems to be holding up just fine. So I figured I would make a 16th scale pole for my yard, since these are 16th scale toys, and the inch and a quarter. I use an inch and a quarter diameter pole for my pole, inch and a quarter dowel for my pole, and they're 48 inches. And I had the lumber yard just cut them off. Three of them at 16 inches apiece would be easy math, and therefore my pole would represent 16 inches. Okay, the supplies you're going to need some gold tie downs and zip ties, I should say. You need some gold zip ties, and I just use things around my house to create my pole. I used a pencil, I used a black marker, and I used a red marker, and that's pretty much it for my pole. And my pole turned out like this. I don't have the greatest skills in the world, but it looks just like this. It stands up there, and I have the meter there, and I shaded the meter with my pencil, and I just use markers for my conduit, for my line. So you can go all the way up there to the top, and I have just a pencil, a couple wires coming out of the conduit, which is the powerless pole that I have. And of course, we had to put the A for Alliant Energy and the hole in the meter. Okay? If you refer to episode 2, you'll know all about the A hole that Alliant Energy left after they pulled out the meter socket. So then this slips right into here, and it's not that stable, so you don't want to move your tractor around, but this tractor here has duals. This is a 1355 Minneapolis Moline original, and see it kind of moves like that. So you want to probably build a little base underneath there maybe, but if you don't touch it, it'll be just fine. Okay, and this is adaptable to other tractors as well. If you have an Alice Chalmers, here's an Alice Chalmers with fenders that go right underneath here, and of course this tractor doesn't have duals on it. So then the pole would go in here, and you'd have to cinch that tight with your tie strap. I also have a John Deere sitting right here. Well, the Alice was a 190 Alice, one of the popular versions there. I have a 720 John Deere, and once again, the 720 John Deere. I just flipped that over, and this has single wheels again, so it wouldn't. You'd have to cinch that up tighter, and there you go. Okay, so it's pretty simple. A lot of people get more elaborate with their poles. For me, I just use things I have around the house, and I might make some other poles. But, this one here is pretty durable to carry around, and it's very simple. I don't know, I maybe had a subliminal message or something, but when I store this around the house, what I do is I use, a thing that we have to have, whether you have power or not, thing you have to have is toilet paper. And so if you're going to make one of these poles yourself at home, what I do is I put this at a place where the rest of my toilet paper is not. And I just put that in there, and then I have a stable base for my toilet paper, and I have my emergency roll. So that works out just great. But a lot of people out there that are viewing this have power. And so I decided to look around my house a little bit more, and I decided to make a powered version with a yard light, especially since, across the street from my place, I don't know if it's coincidence or irony or what, but maybe it's conspiracy. Maybe I'm going to have to get Jesse Venturian on this. But the only street light on Highway 169 that is out right now And it's been out, since I went to that public hearing on January 21st. I'm guessing it's probably been out for at least three weeks, maybe longer. And that thing is out, and it used to give me a little light in my cabin, but I survived without it, and I guess I can sleep better in the dark. But you would think that Alliant Energy, a reliable, dependable, and safe company that they claim to be, would have that thing fixed without anybody telling them. And I'm not going to tell them about it. So that's just fine. But I designed the Powerless Balc. I put my Powerless Balc decal on this one. So you're going to need for this one the same tools, except you're going to need, you'll need the marker, and then you'll need the Powerless Balc decal on this one, which if you saw me, I'd probably just give you one. But or you can just make the A-hole. It doesn't really matter. But this one covers the hole here. And you'll need a light to go on top. And these are just the simple headlights that I had collected before. I had them, and I get around the house with them. And what I do, see, they work just like this. What I did is I just took the band off of it, and then I just took the screw, took a screw and a screwdriver, and I just screwed it right on there. No power tools power tools required, I should say. I just screwed that right on there like that. And the nice thing about this is you have flexibility there, okay? So now, obviously, with this extra weight on here, if I was going to put it in my farmyard collection here, this isn't going to work though. It's not going to work just strapped on there. I'd have to use several straps, and it still probably wouldn't be too good of a base there. So what I do for that is another thing that I'm not using currently is I happen to have a defunct socket. And so all I do is I shove this in here like this, right like that. That looks very nice now. You can see, if I had my tractors all out here, sitting around here, I can just do this, and well, I better turn the switch on here first. See that? And the little click switch. I'll turn it back on there, and then I'll have to tap the light up here. It has 3 levels. It has low beam, medium beam, and high beam. And so I can have that out like that, and wouldn't this be an excellent tractor display out here? You're just like at the fair. You get a security light out there, nice yard light. There you go, and it really does a nice job. And I'm pretty proud of my power meter pole here. Now, the other thing that I did is I took my pole out to the public and sang some karaoke. And what I realized that it is really a handy pole. I just take it out like this, and if I want to use it, I turn it on. If I can show them the light and everything. But anyhow, what I found out that I took that out and I took to sing karaoke, and what I do is I give the headlights. I have 3 headlights, and I get some women to serenade me to the song "You Light Up My Life," and therefore, all I can do is I'm sitting there with them, and what I do is I kind of turn this on. We all, have our headlights on, and I've got my yard light on my meter pole, and I kind of just sashay around, and I like dancing with my pole, and so it makes a very nice pole to dance with, and I guess they'd probably call it pole dancing, but I don't know what pole dancing would be, but this is what it is, so if you want to take your pole out, you can. But I've also realized that since I don't use my vacuum anymore, I have attachments. And lo and behold, the attachment goes right on here, just like this. And if I hold my pole horizontally, if I hold my pole horizontally, and it's nighttime, I like, one of the best foods that'll keep for a powerless person is potatoes. Potatoes are great, and I like to put a little oil in my pan and cook them on my gas stove, get that boiling, and I make some home fries. Okay? So I'm just going to dip my brush in here. It makes a beautiful scrub brush. And see, I take this like this, and I turn this light on right here. And it'd be better at night. But then what I do is I just wash my potatoes, scrub my potatoes down. And, I tried it at the bar, and, a few people liked to scrub my potatoes, and a few people did not like to scrub my potatoes. But, sometimes I put the attachment on, and sometimes I don't. But a lot of people touched my pole while I sang karaoke, and it seemed to be a hit. So I think if you design one of these poles and take it out, you know, I think you'd have a lot of fun with it. And with that said, this has been Powerless Balc, episode 15. And you know, start thinking about these powerless ideas. Uh, get a base on your life, and I'd like to thank you for watching one more time here. This has been brought to you by Balcom Auction. When you have an auction, you'll need an auctioneer. Call 888-8-BALC, and Balc will be there. 20, 25, now 30, 25, now 30, 25, 30, sold! Thank you.